Today we are going to walk you through our sophisticated software here that each and every one of our clients, both past and current, will have access to. We're going to use some really generic dummy data today, but just understand that this will be a tailored plan using your numbers, your properties, your goals, your metrics. Let's jump into the fly through. So you guys will all each come in and complete a customized fact find, so we'll understand a little bit about you, your goals and your objectives. And then we're going to start here in our portfolio tab. So we can come in, we can put in our own properties, so our own principal place of residence, for example, this dummy property, or perhaps we already own some investments that we may have bought for you in the past. We can jump in and we can look at the data behind our properties. So for example, we can see here this property in Deception Bay was bought for $475 in 2020. It's now worth $1 million. The platform will tell us that we've had 110% growth since purchase, compounding at about 13.2% year on year from 2020 to date. Our loan balance of $406,500 is a 41% loan to value ratio, and that we have almost $600,000 worth of equity, of which we might be able to tap into $393,500, and we can see the cash flow position for that property. Fully customizable, so we can then come in and update our loan balance when our loan changes. So for example, I'm going to change that to $401,000. Automatically that will update. Now our loan to value ratio has changed and our borrowable equity position has increased as well. So we can come in and we can track, update, and observe the numbers and the trends behind our existing property portfolio, be it our owner occupier and or investments if we hold them in the portfolio. We're going to jump into our plan tab next, and this is where we start to work with you guys to create that tailored one-on-one plan that will drive you towards your end outcome. So we can show you what the story looks like if we do absolutely nothing. So if we do absolutely nothing, we'll be able to come in and track, okay, are we on track to achieve our passive income goals? We can come in and we can set ourselves a passive income target. So for the purpose of this dummy demonstration, we're setting ourselves a passive income target of $100,000. The first thing we will do is we will inflation adjust that number out for you. So if we would like to hit $100,000 in 25 years time, that $100,000 target inflation adjusts out to $185,000. So that's our North Star. That's the target that we're shooting for. And we'll come in and we'll show you how each acquisition that we make, strategically placed in our portfolio, will hopefully help us close the gap out between where we are and where we want to be. So then what happens if we were to come in and make one property purchase? So we can come in and we can plug in a whole bunch of what ifs. We can create as many different scenarios as we like. For this little scenario here, we've made one acquisition of say $800,000. One acquisition of $800K now has us on track towards achieving about $80,000 worth of cash flow in 25 years time. We want to be up at 185. Excellent. So we can continue crafting this portfolio out and go, okay, what if we were to go from one property purchase into two? Or what if instead of spending $800K, we spent 9? Or what if we spent 750? Or what if we spent 1.1? We can run all of these what if scenarios. What if we did buy a future owner occupier? What if we didn't? For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to jump into another scenario here where we've come in and we bought two property purchases. So as we jump into our two purchase scenario now, where we've come in and we've modeled in another acquisition in a couple of years' time using equity from our existing owner occupier, which we can model in on the platform as well. We've now got two properties in our portfolio and we're on track to be sitting on around $157,000 worth of cash flow. So we're almost there. In fact, we do cross that target out there in 30 years' time, but we want to try and get there that little bit sooner. So now we can start to see, okay, one property is great, two properties potentially even better, but three might be the golden number for us to actually achieve this outcome. Let's jump into a third purchase. So in this scenario here, we've come in and we've now made a third property purchase, and now we can see, excellent, we are now hitting our passive income target in and around 2049, a couple of years ahead of our desired retirement timeline, some 7 or so years better than if we only bought two acquisitions. So we can now start to form a picture in terms of what is your number? How many assets might we need in the portfolio? What should we be spending? When can we afford to spend them? Are we using cash? Do we have equity? And we can start to run all these what if scenarios. Lastly, we also have what's called our little brief page, which is your live dynamic calculator, where you can come in, you can change all the metrics, where you're buying, how much you're spending. You can customize your deposit amount. You can change your loan amounts, everything customizable in on this page, all with the view of showing you the cash flow position for holding this property. We put in some placeholder costs here for some of the running costs to hold the assets. Again, you can customize this to suit your profile. And then you can see, okay, this property is going to be costing me $9,200 per year. But what if the rental yield was dropped? How does that change my cash flow position? What if I was actually principal and interest? How does that change my cash flow position? So you'll be able to come in and fully customize it independent of the plan tab as well. So there you have it, guys. We've got our portfolio tab where we can come in and track our existing portfolio data. We've got our plan where we can come in and we can create various different scenarios. And we have our brief page here, which is a live cash flowing calculator that is fully customizable and for you guys to come in and play around with.